Hey guys, it's me again, the Unique Goddess, and I'm back with another pick a card reading. Actually, this is actually not a pick a card reading. It is going to be. I am going to do a reading soon, but what I wanted to talk about before I did the reading was I wanted to talk about this past eclipse that just occurred on this past Monday. My God, what was the date on Monday? April 8th, I believe, right? Yeah, I believe it was April 8th or April 9th. But anyways, the solar eclipse that just passed this past Monday. So I just wanted to talk about that for a little bit before we get into the reading, okay? So basically, what is an eclipse, okay? So scientifically, an eclipse is when the sun and the moon, they both cross paths at the same exact time. So if this is the moon, let me just put this one here. If this is the moon here, and let's just say this is the sun, right? It's like further away from the moon and it's a lot larger, but because it's further away, they appear to be the same size. And so the sun is here, the moon is here, so it kind of blocks off the sun. It blocks the light of the sun, right? So that's what a solar eclipse is, basically. And it happens, that actual thing happens, one time during the day, but we'll get more into that, okay? Spiritually, what is an eclipse? All right? People may have, this is where people have differing opinions. Some people may say, oh, it's a phenomenon and we should, partake of this energy. It only happens once in a while or once every 8 years or whatever. So we should partake of it as very powerful energy, right? Some people say that. In fact, this year, there were a lot of people who were planning on going out and, looking at the eclipse, looking at it. I think some of them were planning on doing so with bare eyes. I'm not too sure. But there are glasses that are built for that, okay? And then there are other people on the spiritual side who say, you know what? I don't think that that's something that you should actually partake of, because scientifically, if you actually look at an eclipse, with bare eyes, with naked eyes, it will definitely ruin your vision. That's what scientists say. It's like an actual medical thing. So if you are to look at an eclipse, you would need those special sunglasses. I don't know what they're called, unfortunately. But yeah. So what's my take? I'm gonna give you what my take is, because like I said, there's two different sides spiritually, right? What's my take? Basically, I did some research and I researched what ancients, what past civilizations, what did they think of eclipses? And a lot of them, if not all of them, felt that eclipses were a negative thing, because if you think about it, the sun is our light. The sun gives us everything. It gives us light, not only light, but it gives us life, helps us to grow. It gives us energy, the sun just gives us abundant joy and just all of these positive feelings, So the sun was very much highly regarded back in our ancient times. So anything that blocks out the sun, whether it be the moon or whatever it is, anything that blocks out the sun obviously was seen as a negative thing. Not that they thought the moon was negative, because remember back then, I don't think that they were aware that it was because of the moon being in the way of the sun, right? But yeah, anything that blocks out the light of the sun is a negative thing, okay? So my take on an eclipse, and this comes from actually a dream that I had, which was confirmation to me, okay? This dream occurred on the third day after the eclipse had taken place, which was the Wednesday night, right? And it was a kind of disturbing dream. And all I can say, my take of the dream if we're to look at it this way, if we're to look at it in the primitive way of that, the moon represents our mother and the sun represents our father, which means that they're husband and wife, right? So the way that I saw an eclipse after that dream, interpreting that dream, is that when they are face to face like that, it's like a confrontation. It's a meeting. It's a meeting. It's a confrontation, and it's between them. It's between husband and wife. The wife may be confronting the husband. I mean, in the dream, that's how it was. The wife was definitely confronting the husband. The son himself, the husband was like, he was completely innocent, but the wife had, I guess you can just say, negative energy. She was displaying negative energy. And of course, she had her own reasons. Remember, the moon is all about emotions. The moon rules our emotions. And she had her reasons, which were based on emotions. But was she justified? I wouldn't say so. But anyways, I'm not saying that that's the literal definition of what an eclipse is. I'm just saying my interpretation based on that dream, which to me seemed to be confirmation to me in my spirit, okay? So being at that's what it is. It's like face-to-face confrontation between the moon and the sun. Because let's face it, there have been some days where you can still see the moon in the sky. There's been some sunny days where you can see the moon right there, like they're in the sky together. And it's beautiful, it's harmony, the vibe is different. But face to face, that's like a confrontation, that's like an argument, that's a private discussion, whatever you want to call it. And I feel like that's why we should not look at it. We should not look at it. If we are the children, and mommy and daddy are having a private discussion, or maybe even an argument, whatever it is, we as the children, we should not get involved. We should not partake of it. We should not, because if we did, it's going to have effect on us. It's going to affect us, So that's why, to me, my take of the eclipse is that we should not partake of it. We should not look at it, even with the sunglasses. I mean, if we did have things to do that day, of course, go about your business, do your thing, just like I did. But it doesn't mean you have to look directly up at it. And also, what I wanted to say is that if you are a spiritual practitioner, I would recommend, just as how I was recommended by a very reputable and trusted source, I was recommended not to do any spiritual work, not only during the day of the eclipse, but at least the 3 days following. Because the eclipse, the energy of that eclipse, it wasn't just one day, I mean, how often does it take the moon to orbit the Earth, right? So we got to think about stuff like that. And yeah, that's my take of the eclipse. I just feel like, the eclipse, it's powerful energy, but I feel like it's negative energy. I feel like it's negative, uncontrolled energy. Very catastrophic, very sabotaging. That's what I'm getting. Sabotaging, catastrophic, careless energy, because it's like the emotions of the moon are just going all over the place. And it's angry, and other emotions as well. Like, think of a tornado or, disasters, right? So, yeah, that's my take on the eclipse. My take on the eclipse was that, if you were one of those people who, maybe you're old school and you were taught never to look at the eclipse and just go about your day, then you did the right thing, in my opinion, right? But if you're one of those people who, went out and was like, oh yeah, I'm going to look at the eclipse. This is a phenomenon. I'm going to take part in it. This only happens once in a lifetime, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to look at the sun. The only thing I can say about that is that, I just feel like there may be some consequences for that in the oncoming future. Because another thing that I heard about this eclipse, I've heard from spiritual sources, like I said, I did my research, right? So another thing that I heard about this eclipse is that the energy is so powerful and it's very karmic as well. So the effects that it will have on us human beings is that it will definitely intensify our karma. So for instance, if you're someone who had bad karma, or maybe you had so-so karma, it's going to intensify it, right? And if you had good karma, that's going to intensify it as well, right? So there's good and bad, right? So if you had bad karma, then yeah, you're definitely one of those people, and you would know you have bad karma. You would know. You would know if you have bad karma because, you're not a very lucky person. You may be clumsy. You may be, you may have a life where things happen to you. Like I wouldn't say a lot of bad things happen to you, but maybe a few bad things have happened to you, consistently. So maybe you feel like you have I feel like you would know if you have bad karma. However, let's talk about this now. There are some people who are just delusional, and I'm sorry to insult anyone, but there are some people who are just delusional in the sense that they think that they have good karma because, I never do anything wrong to people. I do everything right. I go by the book. I follow the rules. I don't have any bad karma. You may be wrong about that, okay? Yes, karma is based on our actions. What goes around comes around. However, there are people around here. There are spiritual practitioners who can mess up your karma for you, unbeknownst to you, right? So let's say, for instance, there's somebody, maybe you know someone, and you inadvertently pissed this person off. You inadvertently did that. Maybe you didn't even do anything. Maybe this person's just jealous. Maybe this person just hates you. Whatever. And this person just happens, I'm just using this as an example, okay? So I don't want to offend anyone. But let's just say they follow a religion where they worship many deities. And I'm just going to say Hindu. Let's just say this person was Hindu. I'm just using that as an example. Let's just say there's another religion, but let's just say they worship a certain deity. And they've been doing so all their life. They've been taught to do this since they were a kid. Their family, everyone in their family line, they do it. So this deity, is well known to this family and to this person. And, this person is highly favored by this deity. Whether you believe this stuff or not, okay? So let's say you piss this person off. And this person goes home and this person talks to their deity. Oh my God, I hate this person. This person did this to me and you should punish this person and blah, 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 blah. Make their life miserable. Blah, 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 blah. This and that. They did this to me. They're horrible. They should not be forgiven. And they make their petitions and maybe they do it every day and they make their offerings. And maybe they may even get other people. Maybe they may tell their family members. Maybe they may tell their friends. So their family members and friends can come to this deity with them, and it would empower those petitions against you. And next thing you know, although you're a person who has never done anything wrong to anybody else and you don't do anything, you just what you notice is that you do good to others, but you never get anything back. You never get anything back, even in life. Not from other people, but also even in life, you just never get a break. That's what you may notice. And that could definitely be an indication that somebody has affected your karma. And when your karma is affected, I believe that your aura is also affected. Okay? So anyways, I'm just saying you should never be too careful. You should never be too complacent into thinking, I have no good karma, I'm a good person, I do this, I do that, I never lie, I never cheat, I'm a good person, so I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna partake of this eclipse. I'm gonna look at it. Not only that, I'm gonna partake of its energy by doing my spiritual rituals, blah 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 blah. No, you can never be too certain, okay? And I feel like the eclipse, the energy of the eclipse is nothing you should play with, okay? If you look back to what our ancient ancestors thought of the eclipse. Everyone from Native American to Asian to African, they all saw it as a negative thing, and they all saw it as something that it's not energy that you should play with. Okay? So I hope you guys were safe during this eclipse. However, if you did partake of the eclipse in any way, if you did go outside, I just wanted to perhaps maybe give you a little bit of advice. So my advice would be to, to start doing a lot of spiritual work, start doing a lot of shadow work, start doing a lot of cleansing work. So one thing I would suggest, one moment. So like I said that, if somebody affects your karma, then more than likely it would start showing in your aura. It would start affecting your aura for sure. And then that's when it will take more personal effects on you and be more, it would be more continuous in your life, for instance. Okay, so one thing that I suggest to you, if you did partake of the energy of the eclipse in any way, whether you did rituals on those 3 days or whether you actually went out and actually looked at the sun and blah 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 blah, but don't panic. But I do think that you should do a lot of spiritual cleansing, do a lot of spiritual baths. You can bathe in some sea salt, cleanse yourself spiritually. And one thing that I would suggest is you use this selenite. Selenite is very good for cleansing. It's so good for cleansing that you can use selenite to cleanse your other crystals. Selenite is very good for cleansing. You can use it to cleanse your aura. You can use it to cleanse, So what I would suggest, this is just some little tips from me, but you can do your own research, of course, okay? So this is just from me as a friend to you, okay? I'm not an expert, but this is harmless. This is not going to do harm to you. This is a crystal. It comes from nature. And, some people don't believe in their power or their energy. But, you can definitely make use of it. But anyways, so what I would suggest is you use this to, cleanse yourself, cleanse your aura. So you kind of, wisp it around your whole entire body, kind of almost like you're saging yourself, kind of wisp it around your whole entire body to kind of cleanse yourself. And then another thing that I would suggest too is you take it and you put it up against your third eye. And your third eye is somewhere on your forehead. Some people say it's directly in between your eyebrows. I feel like it's a little bit higher than that. I feel like it's right in the middle of your forehead. But, I feel like the third eye is located different places for different people, but it's in your forehead area. So anyways, put it against your forehead and just close your eyes and meditate and try to feel the energy of the selenite. Try to feel its energy and it will come to you, okay? And it's very cleansing, okay? And, you just try to become friends with the selenite. And I feel like that would be, good, a light little exercise to do to cleanse yourself of that energy if you did partake of it, okay? And you can also do other spiritual work as well, like I did suggest the baths. Give yourself a light. You don't have to do anything too heavy, especially if you don't know what you're doing, right? But yeah, I would recommend sea salt, okay? Just use regular sea salt in your bath water. You can pray over the water, pray for cleansing, pray for protection, pray for forgiveness, okay? And then you go into the water and you wash yourself with that water, and you have to believe that it is cleansing you. All of these things that we have available to us on earth are valuable and useful to us in ways that we may not even have imagined, okay? I mean, we use salt for eating in our food, and that may be about it, but salt has other properties. Salt has very high spiritual properties, and yes, it is known for cleansing, spiritual cleansing, just like the selenite, okay? So that's just me. That's one thing that I would definitely suggest if you did partake of the eclipse. Just start doing more spiritual work on yourself, particularly cleansing. And you may like for me personally, what I would do is I would ask for forgiveness for partaking in that energy, not knowing that it would affect me in such a negative way, not knowing really what it was. Forgive my ignorance, That's what I would say personally. And you guys, I'm so sorry. I don't know where my camera cut off. I hope that it didn't cut off too much. But what I was saying there basically is that, for me personally, what I would do if I partook of the eclipse, I would definitely ask for forgiveness, and I would say, definitely I would ask for forgiveness for my ignorance. I didn't know what the energy of the eclipse really was. I was misguided, forgive my ignorance, and it's however you want to pray. Some people pray to the universe. Some people pray to God. Some people pray to a deity or deities. However you want to term it. But for me, that's definitely what I would do. I would ask for forgiveness. I would cleanse myself. And I would, continue to cleanse myself until I feel satisfied, right? Until I feel satisfied, right? And then you can do it every now and then after that. It's a continuous process, right? But yeah, and for those of you who did not partake of the eclipse, good job. Okay, good job, right? So yeah, that's just been my little take on the energy of the eclipse that recently occurred for us. This one says Seven of Swords. So this is a revelation of secrets, revealing secrets, revealing sins. Okay, so this could be what the energy of the eclipse is all about. This could be revealing certain things about your life that you need to change, right? Seven of Swords in the reverse is definitely, things being revealed, things that you would prefer to have hidden, things that you would prefer to have kept in the dark, things being revealed, things, and, the Seven of Swords could be a nudge to, okay, change your ways because, things are going to be found out. Knight of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. So with the Knight of Cups, I feel like it's also saying, use this energy of the eclipse to focus on love and make your feelings more. Focus on love, and it doesn't have to be just romantic love. It could be love of your family members, love of your friends, and just show your feelings more, because that's what the Knight of Cups is all about. The Knight of Cups is a young man who is, asking a lady out on a date, and he wants to date her. He wants to be romantic, So this is about showing your love. This one says Ace of Wands. So for some people, this eclipse energy could be a new opportunity for you, right? A new exciting opportunity. Like I said, this is something that I forgot to mention. Okay, so I mentioned, like I said, I mentioned that I did learn that the eclipse energy, it has something to do with karma. It's very much intertwined with karma, right? That it would intensify it. I heard one source. I believe I heard them say 10,000 times, right? So that's very serious, powerful energy right there. So if you have bad karma, then you would not want to partake of that in any way, okay? But I forgot to mention the people with good karma, right? Who did not partake of the eclipse energy. The people with good karma. This could be your result. Very exciting new opportunities coming your way. Because, like I said, how do I put this? If you're a person with good karma, and I remember the example that I gave before about a person who never did anything to anyone, but somehow this other person who had all this spiritual knowledge, you know, was offended by this person. They didn't like that person, so they appealed to their deity. They complained to their deity about this person, and then their deity put some negative energy, some evil energy around this innocent person. And yes, I know it seems unfair, but you know what? It happens. That's just the way it is, right? It happens. So this is why you must always protect yourself. Spiritually, you must always gain as much spiritual knowledge as possible, and then you must always protect yourself, right? But anyways, for those of you who do have good karma and you're certain of this and you did not partake of the energy of the eclipse, it's going to have good effects for you karmically. You're going to experience a lot of exciting, good new opportunities, and they're going to happen for you quickly. Okay? Things that make you passionate. Okay? Things that you're passionate about. Your passions are going to come through. Let's just put it that way. We got the Star and the Ace of Cups in the reverse. So, with the Star in the reverse and the Ace of Cups in the reverse, this is missed opportunities in love. Okay? This is sorrow. This is regret. This is, you know. So, yeah. Yeah, in love, definitely. The Lovers is at the bottom of the deck. So a lot of people who may have partaken in the eclipse, they may experience certain changes in their life. Let's just put it that way. I'm just going to put changes. And, you know, particularly it could be changes in their love life. You see, 10 of Wands, burden. A lot of burden in their love life, okay? So, I'm just saying, I don't want to, you know, scare people or anything like that. Like I said, you know, if you were one of those people that partook of the energy of the eclipse in any way, then try to do that spiritual work, do that cleansing, do more research. Do more research on things that you can do to help yourself in that situation, okay? All right, so that's where I'm going to leave it for now. I'll be back. I'm actually devising a reading for you guys. But I just wanted to talk briefly about the eclipse for now, okay? So until I see you again, I hope you guys have a very blessed and beautiful day. And namaste.